Hello and welcome to TC Sports. I'm Jacob Butzine alongside Aaron Klinker and Andrew Schultz. A lot happened this week in sports, and I'll be the first to say it. Amen. Hallelujah that college football is back. Oh my goodness. What a great week one. Today we're going to kind of recap week one. We're going to go into week two, dive into that, and then we're going to do some NFL predictions. Boys, you ready to rock and roll?
Yes, sir.
Sure thing.
All right. So first, let's just go over. Andrew, go ahead and show the viewers, or tell the viewers, I should say, how we did in our picks for the first week of
Yeah,
college
so if you watched last week's episode, we gave our predictions on four games that we thought were interesting. It was Georgia, Oregon, Utah, Florida, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and Arkansas and Cincinnati. Jacob correctly guessed the winners of all four, with Georgia, Florida, OSU, and Arkansas, obviously. Um, Me and Clink got tied with three games out of four correct, with
Really?
me getting the Utah Florida game wrong and Clink getting the Cincinnati game wrong.
I could have gone perfect. All right, I'm betting against UC for the rest of the year.
They kind of saw State next, so but they probably won't be on our matchups list again for the rest of the year. That's for sure.
Not for this year, at least. But that aside,
Yeah.
So, but I think Aaron in the Arkansas UC game was the closest. Did you have UC 31, Arkansas 24 or something?
I had it by less than 10 points is like the differential. I think I had UC winning by like a field goal, which that wouldn't have happened because they couldn't kick for shit. So
Right. I think the game that I at least was close with Georgia 42, Oregon 24 is what I had. But wow.
I had Georgia. I don't think I had Oregon scoring even 10 points. I mean,
Okay.
we
So
all were score wise. I didn't write down the scores, just the
I
winners,
didn't.
because it's a lot easier. But I think score wise, we all kind of got everything pretty close, except Notre Dame, Ohio State. All of us said it would be a blowout, and it was probably the most boring game of the entire weekend.
which one?
Ohio
Georgia.
State, Notre Dame.
Um. Well, boys, get used to looking at my back because that's what you're going to be looking at this entire season with these picks. So just put that out
You're
there.
up. You're up by
Guilty about
one. You were literally up by one.
You only won because Cam Rising failed to rise to the occasion.
Who?
The quarterback for Utah.
Oh, right.
Clink, you had no
Okay.
hope. What were you doing picking UC?
I'm going to apologize to a couple of my friends. They were not happy with my score prediction from the Arkansas UC game. You both know who you are. I'll apologize for my prediction on the Arkansas UC game. I will say UC hurt themselves in that game by missing field goals and turnovers, but also Arkansas didn't play that well either. So,
I'm not going to
however,
apologize to anybody.
We know you
I,
won't.
they know who they are. If they watch this video, I'm sorry. It was closer than I anticipated. UC had a hell of a game. But
It was more like
it is what it
Arkansas
is.
not having the game.
This guy, Braden, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh, oh. All right. So, let's all go around. What's one thing that surprised you in week one? And what was one thing that was pretty normal for week one? You can pick any team, any player, whatever. Pick one thing that surprised you and one thing that was pretty standard in regards to they didn't skip a beat. Aaron, you want to go ahead and go first on that?
Yes. One thing that kind of didn't really skip a beat was Georgia. I mean, they basically just picked up where they left off. I really thought that game was going to be a lot not like by a field goal like I had with UC and Arkansas, but I honestly thought Oregon was gonna get at least 1 or 2 touchdowns on them. My God, that was just a massacre from the first snap. Like it was
Yeah,
not pretty.
that was pretty bad.
Half, and
Now
after that, it was just
But how good's Oregon is how good's Oregon?
I I mean you got to think about this. Georgia's in the defending national champs. They obviously are coached very well. They obviously have a lot of depth that I did not look into whatsoever. However, switching gears to what surprised me, can we talk about Anthony Richardson for a second?
Dude balled.
Dude went
ball out.
off.
He showed up.
Like I okay. I'm not going to jump on the hype train for him yet, but if Florida wins their game this weekend on the back of Anthony Richardson, I'm going to have to change his name to Anthony him or something like that. I'll have to figure out a combination for the name, but that man will become him. He will become him.
I mean,
Ball out, that's for
yeah, that dude was crazy. And
Mhm.
first game for that Florida's new coach, I believe. That great way to start. Now you're a number 12 team. You're making Florida relevant again, which honestly, like those teams, I like when they're good. It makes the SEC more. It doesn't allow Bama to just every week just wander along to the SEC championship game. Same thing with Georgia, like Kentucky, Florida. All these teams, Ole Miss, are now becoming at least ranked, somewhat relevant to where okay,
Competitive.
Bama can go in and do that stuff. All right, cool. Andrew.
my surprise. I'm gonna have like 1.5 here. USC was my shocker. They played. I mean, it was Rice. Granted, it was Rice. So I mean, competition level, but they played really well. Um,
Still gotta take care of business, and they
like
did. So
we'll see
It
what
was a
they do
business trip.
against better competition, but they played really well, and I think Riley out there's got a squad, and I think I was wrong with my preseason rankings. I probably should have had them higher. Again, a little overreaction because it is Rice. We'll see what they do later on. And then my like half surprise was quarterbacks for Michigan, JJ being here and Cade being down here. Uh, and then my not skip the beat is Pac-12 schools and Notre Dame being overrated.
Here, here.
Notre Dame had no offense, and Pac-12 schools failed to show up in the games they needed to.
good point. Thanks, Andrew. I will say one thing that didn't skip a beat was Bryce Young. Again, it was Utah State, but still, I was just talking to somebody today. Like these teams that are elite, yes, they're playing no ones, but you have to still take care of business and beat them the way that they do. Like Iowa, for example. Not good for Iowa.
I am not
Not
going to
good.
that Iowa game as a Michigan fan.
That like you can't do that. But Alabama took care of business. Bryce Young. Back to I don't know if I've said this in an installment before, but Bryce Young should clearly still be the favorite. If he won the Heisman last year, no reason he shouldn't still be the favorite for the Heisman. I think it was rigged that CJ Stroud started out the favorite, but again, it doesn't really matter because you still have to play the games. So that was one that didn't skip the beat. I was surprised by Ohio State. It's kind of a two-parter. I was surprised that their defense played the way they did. I'm surprised their offense played the way they did. Defense meaning how good they played, offense how underachieved they did. Because all I heard all offseason was this Ohio State offense is elite and whatever, and it was not relevant. I mean, they were losing 10-7 at half, and I believe they scored the touchdown for to make it 21 points, but like pretty much before that it was nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, Notre Dame outplayed them in the first half. In the second half, that defense showed up for Ohio State, which surprised me. But then the offense was supposed to be explosive. Granted, week 1 against a top 5 team, I get that, but I don't think Notre Dame is up there. But again, they still won. They took care of business. Now they don't play anybody until I believe like week 4 or 5. Um, okay. Again, real quick before we move on to week 2, the next week, top 25 just came out today. Anything that surprised you in anything before we move on?
Link, why don't you go ahead and start?
I get it that Georgia beat the hell out of Oregon, but why did they jump Ohio State? I mean, they
I've heard that a lot.
like okay, you guys know I'm not like a super big Ohio State fan, but yes, their offense came out flat and like they didn't look the best, but Georgia played Oregon and like Andrew said, it's a Pac-12 team. Once again, not showing up, not even being competitive. Like I understand. I don't understand the ranking. I'm not saying Ohio State is on the tier of Oregon or not Oregon, Georgia, but why did they jump Ohio State if it was just gonna be one spot? I mean, come on.
I mean,
So they're only 40 points away. So it's not like whatever, but you have to look at Georgia played a 11th team. Ohio State played a number 5 team. Ohio State was losing going in halftime.
Ah,
Like I mean, they look at these things. I mean, they don't just say, "Oh, this." I think it's the way, in my opinion, Georgia should have been number 1 to start the season anyways. It should have been Georgia, Ohio State, or Alabama, however you wanted to pick them
Bama,
to, and then everyone else.
everybody else.
Right. So Georgia should already be up there anyways, but it's the way that they looked at Georgia and said, "Ooh, we were wrong about you. You didn't skip a beat," because everyone was so worried about how their defense was going to look, and it didn't seem like it mattered. It doesn't matter that it was a Pac-12 team. They don't look at that. They looked at where that person was ranked,
mm,
and they took care of business on a neutral site. Ohio State only won by 11 at home. Yes, it was number 5 team, but they also looked at how Ohio State played. They had to take a second half comeback to win. Um, so again, it's week 1. There's so much more college football, but in regards to how Ohio State played and how Georgia played, that there's an exact reason. Someone told me, well, if you won, no one should jump you.
I
Okay.
disagree with that.
I disagree as well because one thing that not I guess I don't want to say necessarily shocked me, but I was surprised that it even happened. I mean, Michigan jumping 4 spots. They jumped A&M and Clemson, but A&M and Clemson didn't play well.
They still beat their teams
yeah.
by a lot. Um, so like I saw the stat, it was like every FBS team that was playing another FBS team that was favored by 4.5 touchdowns all made it across the spread. So like it was like Michigan, Bama, um, Michigan State, and a couple others. Um, Texas, A&M, and Clemson, I think, as well. They all went 8-0 against the spread. They were all favored by 4+ touchdowns. Clemson was they were up 17-10 at one point. I know with Georgia Tech. I didn't get a chance to catch the game because I had a very busy Labor Day, and then Texas A&M they had a weather delay.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
the longest
Yeah,
time.
but they weren't playing
It was
well
weird.
prior
They
to
didn't play
that.
for
So
like an hour in between the second and third quarter. But I mean, Michigan looked legit, other than Cage struggling early. But Michigan didn't even get that creative with their play calling. It was base high school plays essentially, and they kicked the crap out of Colorado State, who has Norvell, who's a very good head coach. He's very solid, and I mean it'll take him a while to get Colorado State to where they're going to be somewhat solid as a mid-major, but I mean, Michigan looked the part, they played the part, and they're right where they should be. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the top four, other than
I
maybe
think
Georgia should be one.
I think to start out, the reason they had Michigan so low was because of their defense, how they would show up. And again, just like Georgia, both had to replace a lot on defense. Michigan didn't have to replace as many bodies, but they had to replace a lot of talent.
Yeah.
And they skipped a beat. I understand you could say it's against Colorado State, but you still have to play well against these teams. You can't play like Clemson and A&M because of what happens here. We have to move on, but real quick. Florida, ranked 12, too high, too low.
Way
I
too,
think that's just right.
way,
Aaron,
way
right.
too high. Overreaction.
I think that's a bit much. Florida was in the swamp. Yes, it was number 7 team. I would have said maybe 15, 16, 17 range.
They
Maybe
jumped.
4.
They jumped a lot of people. I don't believe they should have.
Well, they were 20, like 26 or 27. So they were just right outside the top 25. But I would have said 15 would have been like the ceiling.
Yeah.
Let's see. No, they were. Oh, I lied. They were like 30 something.
They
So
they weren't supposed to be nearly as good. I think it's a bit of an overreaction by the AP poll shooting them up that high. That's just my opinion, though.
it's fair.
Like I
Um,
said, oh, sorry, just real quick. Like I said, I'm trying very hard not to jump on the Florida hype train, but just watching Anthony Richardson on Saturday, he was electric. Okay, my bad.
no. I was gonna ask you what you thought about that, so that's good. All right. Week 1 in the books. Moving on to week 2. So let's start with BYU Baylor. This is a ranked matchup for this week. Andrew, go ahead and give your score prediction and give just give a little something about the game that you think is gonna happen.
This game doesn't really interest me as much as the other ones that we've highlighted. Um, Baylor, this is a test for Baylor. Are you legit Big 12 contenders or are you pretenders? BYU, I don't really know where they're at in their program. BYU always seems to be like that solid 20th ranked every year. They never go super high. They're never super low. They're kind of just right there in the middle. So we'll see. I think it'll be. I think it's more of a test for Baylor than it is BYU.
All right, score
I'll say
prediction.
Baylor. It's gonna be a slugfest, I think, defensively because of Dave Aranda's defense. So I think Baylor 31, BYU 17.
Aaron.
Kind of like Andrew said, this is not really like on my game to watch list for this week, but if I had to pick a team to, bet my money on, I would bet Baylor. And this is basically just going off of what Andrew said, this is going to be a test for them. Like, are you guys for real? Or, contenders or pretenders, like he said. And honestly, I could see this game going like 31 Baylor, BYU 24.
You all are hilarious because BYU is a 3.5 point favorite.
Wow.
I like Baylor.
Baylor is only a
Defense wins
57% chance
championships.
to win. Here's why. It's at BYU at 10:15. I think that's why I BYU being a favorite blows my mind. I have Baylor winning 35-10. And here's why. Monterey Baldwin, their wide receiver, Richard Reese, their running back. It's just going to be them two kind of taking the reins on that. I don't see BYU being this game. I don't even know how they're a 3.5 point favorite. Now, if we come back to next week and BYU upset them, I mean, we'll look stupid, but
No words.
I don't see BYU having a chance. So there's that. We'll move on
They'll
from
have a
that.
chance early. I think it'll be close
Listen,
early.
Zach Wilson needs to show up to watch that game. All right, then BYU will have that dog in them.
I just want to let you know, Andrew and I saw Zach Wilson get beat by Toledo.
Yeah, he threw like 3 interceptions. I mean, this was his
Oh,
junior year, so. But hey,
listen. That
no,
was before he slept with his friend's mom. Okay.
Oh my god!
allegedly.
Oh my
All right,
gosh! All
Chip,
right,
what's our next game?
next game, which this is the one that I am super excited for, and that is USC Stanford. I'll go ahead and start this one. USC Stanford is going to be a great game to watch, being at Stanford. It's the 7:30 ABC game, prime time. I really like EJ Smith for Stanford in this game. He's going to be the player of the game, in my opinion, and I'm going to have Stanford winning this game 28-21.
All right.
What do y'all think?
I think you want to go next.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch much of Stanford last week. Looking at the results of whoever they played very well, obviously, because odds are it was a cupcake team. Could be wrong. But knowing Lincoln Riley and how his offenses normally are, I could see this one going into a borderline shootout. And I'd say, you know what? I'm gonna go with the upset. I say Stanford wins 35-30.
Wow. Okay.
So Stanford has won 4 out of the last 5 against USC at home. So now these are some pretty bad USC teams.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the game Lincoln Riley puts USC back on the map. I think he goes USC makes a statement. I think they're gonna win by 2 possessions, I think. I'm gonna go USC 45 and Stanford 28.
Okay.
Who do you think USC's quarterback's going to be the
I
standout of
think
this game?
Caleb Williams is gonna have like 400 total yards plus. Um,
Oh, he's gonna play great regardless, but I
and
don't see
then the
USC
transfer
pulling
wide
it off.
receiver from Pitt, I'm blanking on his name right now. I think he could easily have 150 yards receiving.
Andrew, to give you his name, I think his name is like Mario Addison. I could be wrong about
Yes,
that.
that is Addison is his last name. I know that.
I know I know he's good.
He's fast. He's a fast boy.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay. I think that'll be one that the viewers that see this video will want to watch based on how different us three have them. So either Andrew, you're gonna gain a game on me, or you're gonna be 2 behind. So we'll see, depending on how the rest of these games go.
Or Clink
Um,
further behind.
um, Next game, Kentucky, Florida. Aaron, go ahead and we'll start with you.
All right, so these are 2 very good teams. Florida obviously putting the nation on notice, like, hey, like they haven't arrived, but I feel like if they beat Kentucky and they beat them like, it's one of those games where they handle business, beating them by like 30 plus points, which is probably not going to happen. They will have officially put the world on notice, like, hey, we are not to be fucked with this year. However, Kentucky
language barrier.
I'm sorry, YouTube. Forgive me.
What the
Anyways, so Kentucky, obviously, they ain't no slouches. We know this. Will Levis, he's a pretty good QB in his own right. I honestly, my score prediction for this, I could see it coming down to the wire. I'm gonna say, all right, I'm rocking with the Gators on this one. I could see Kentucky 24, Florida 27.
Not a close one for Florida. All right.
Andrew.
I think this is going to be my game to watch this weekend. Besides, well, I'll be at the Michigan Hawaii game when JJ looks
Well,
like
that's game of the week right there.
when
I
JJ
think it,
looks like an absolute Greek god. So I'll miss the Stanford game other than getting updates, but I'll go back and watch the highlights of that game. But I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this game because I am a little partial to Kentucky. I do like them. Living in Cincinnati, I would rather cheer for Kentucky than any of the Cincinnati or Ohio schools because I hate them.
Quiet you.
wow.
And in my college football dynasty, I was with Kentucky for a while. I'm gonna go Kentucky on this one. Their offensive coordinator came from McVay's system. Um, their head coach pulled him. He was there last year. They hung with Georgia last year for quite a while. I want to say up until like the fourth quarter, they were with Georgia. I think Florida is going to be right in that hype wave, a little too high, and I think Kentucky kind of crashes them down. I'm going to say Kentucky 38, Florida 34.
Okay.
I can't believe you have Kentucky thinking they're gonna score that much. Good lord. Okay. I have Florida winning this game. Um, again, I'm gonna stick with Anthony Richardson having a good game. This is where it takes one game for you to boost your confidence, and Anthony Richardson seems like a guy who is not like a quarterback that he has one game and he thinks he's God's gift to football. Um, I think he's a real guy, stand guy who will take this ride with the confidence and take Florida places. By places I don't mean the college football playoff, but by places I mean beating ranked teams.
New
I
six.
have Florida. Right. I have Florida winning this one 33-17 because it is in the swamp. So I mean, actually, let me double check that. Yeah, it's in the swamp. So, I think that you know, it'll
It's
be a game.
back to
So, all right, we got a couple more games here. Tennessee, Pittsburgh. I'll start this one. Um, I do think Tennessee is a little bit over. I don't want to say overrated because I mean they're 24th, but I don't think Tennessee's that good. Um, I just don't. I don't trust them. I don't know. I just don't trust them. I don't trust them, especially going to Pittsburgh this weekend. Um, they're actually 6.5 point favorite, which is just mind boggling to me.
Ew. Ew.
I think Keenan Slovis is going to be the hello. Oh, okay. Sorry. It like froze for a second. I just said I think Keenan Slovis is going to be the game changer for this game, and I'm gonna have Pitt winning 27 to Tennessee's 24.
All right, I guess I'll go next. That backyard brawl, game of the year. That game was nuts.
It
I
was.
would rather watch that game 3 times over than that Florida State LSU game was good, but that backyard brawl was something else. It was great to see that rivalry renewed. West Virginia fans showed up. It was a pretty hostile crowd. In the end, Pitt did win. Um, I think Pitt kind of kept West Virginia in the game at times, just because it's week one and you have some sloppy football. I don't think Tennessee's all that great. They have a solid offense, but I mean, they're nothing. I mean, they're ranked because they're an SEC school, but I think Slovis and Pitt are gonna curb stomp Tennessee by. I think it's gonna be Pitt 42, Tennessee 24.
Yeah, screw Tennessee. They're trying to compete with Michigan's capacity. Get out of here, freaking
They're not even close. They're
losers.
like another 10,000 off.
Yeah, I'm talking about years ago when they were counting Whatever. It's not important. Anyways, Aaron, carry on.
Okay, now that we got the Michigan dick riding out of the way. So I have Pitt winning this game. Obviously, I also watched the backyard brawl from start to finish last week, and that's the best college football game I've seen in a while. Like probably ever since the Georgia Oklahoma playoff game. Like that was Pitt, West Virginia, that was the best college football game I've seen in a while. And I got Pitt winning this by like 15 points. Like I'll be nice to Tennessee. I'm gonna say Pitt 35, Tennessee 20.
Be
All right, well, this will
nice.
be a week for our predictions, and it'll be a difference maker on who takes the lead, who doesn't.
I'm gonna eat my
Look at
words next week.
Jacob, you have all the same picks, so I'm the only one going different. So it'll be me going further behind, or me taking a big lead ahead.
Wait, Andrew, didn't we have the same predictions last week?
No, you picked UC.
Okay, well, 3 out of 4.
Oh, he has 3 games too.
Yeah, I mean we
3 out of 4.
both have three
But
games, but I have two different
but
games.
Andrew
Take a 2 game lead on you and a 1 game lead on Jacob. If I'm right, if I'm wrong, then I'm in the hole.
yeah, you're in the hole, right? Well, I don't see us being much different on this next game. The Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Texan Downhorns. All right. Well, let's just go ahead. I'll start, then Aaron, then Andrew. Just go ahead and say the score prediction, then we'll talk about it. Bama 35, Texas 10. Aaron.
God. Bama 42, Texas like 7.
Andrew.
Bama 63, Texas 3.
Would not be surprised.
So Bryce Young and Will Anderson are going to be the game changers in this game. Bama's going to show Texas why joining the SEC is a mistake for
They're gonna
them.
show them what a real football team looks like.
Right. I don't. I know I just said that I think Bama should not be number 1, but Bama is Bama. They still have Nick Saban. I don't see Texas hanging in this game. However, I will say if Quinn Ewers plays well in this game, that'll be a difference maker for them at least scoring points. I don't see Texas defense stopping Bryce Young. I just don't.
Mullet man
you guys
is
want
going to be a difference maker in this. Will Anderson is going to execute that man.
Will Anderson's gonna stop him. He's gonna cut his mullet off, dude. I'm calling it.
It's going to be the Longhorns going to a slaughter. Bama's having burgers that night.
Nah, they're having steaks and cigars.
They're having burgers, steaks, some ribs. They're gonna have the full cow on Saturday.
So I don't think there's much to talk about this. I don't think Texas is back.
Okay, listen. I just want to get this out there. It's Alabama. Texas could still have a good season, but this is Alabama we're talking about. And now, I don't want to say we could be wrong because crazier things have happened, but good God, Texas fans, y'all are gonna have to sit the hell down after this week.
Texas has one ranked win against a ranked opponent since 2008.
Yeah, I read that somewhere today. I
Like,
was like, "Are you
one
freaking
win
serious?"
against a top 25 opponent since Vince Young left?
Listen,
I think you may have read that wrong because
It's
I saw the same
ridiculous.
thing. It was
They haven't beat anybody good in a long time.
yeah, that's the bottom line of it. They haven't beat anybody, but
don't matter. Listen, I'm telling you right now, Will Anderson's gonna be running at not Bryce Young, Quinn Mullet Man, whatever the hell his name is. And he's gonna say to him, "I'm sorry, little one."
They haven't. I'm pretty sure, Jacob. I'm pretty sure it was like Texas hasn't beat a top 10 opponent since they lost to Bama in the national championship or whatever it was.
Let me see. I think I may have taken a picture of it. No, I don't think I did. But I saw that same thing you did, and I was like, wow, Texas, you are bad.
Longhorn
Um,
Nation, we're bad.
all right. Well, that'll conclude our week 2 college football predictions. Check back next week to see how we did, and we'll see you after the short commercial break.
2, 1.
And we're back. Moving on to the NFL Week 1 predictions. Boys, NFL is back. Super excited. I drafted my fantasy teams. I'm gonna run through all of my leagues because that's just I'm like that. I'm
Sure.
like that.
You're
Sure.
not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy.
Sure. Sure. Whatever you believe. Sure.
Well, strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for him.
Oh no. Anyways,
Alrighty, let's start here. Let's start with this week's Thursday night game. Bills, Rams. I have the Rams winning this game 32-29 against the Buffalo Bills. I think it's going to be a great way to start the season. I'm glad they don't have like a freaking Cleveland, freaking Carolina game to start the season. It's actually a great game to start the season. It's gonna be a close one to the end, and I think the Rams win it on a last-second field goal. What do we think?
well,
I'm gonna go. I've been going back and forth on this because I really like Stafford, but I'm gonna go Bills week 1. Take it. I'm gonna go Bills. Take it because that LA crowd doesn't like to show up to games. If it was in Buffalo, I would take Buffalo by a mile, but just because it's in LA, I think week 1 getting the jitters out. I don't know if Stafford's 100%, but Josh Allen is that dude. I'm going Buffalo.
Okay.
well, kind of like Andrew, I've been going back and forth on this because I'm gonna say this right now, and it's gonna sound really bad in a few months probably, but this could be a potential Super Bowl preview for this upcoming season.
Oh, it is the Super Bowl preview.
Oh no.
No.
Relax over there.
Starting
Hey,
the
dude.
season
Hey,
with
wait,
these
Andrew.
two teams,
Could be.
or ending this season with these two teams.
Hey, you still have a little Matthew Stafford left on your lip, man.
Hey,
Get that off.
Tom Brady's going through a divorce probably, so
Shit. Nah, I'm not gonna talk about Tom Brady. I have the Bills winning 35-28. I think Josh Allen is gonna pull some kind of trickery out of his ass, and he's going to carry the Bills to a win.
Oh man, we'll see. I think it's going to be one of the games of the year. Actually, I have the Bills winning 15 of their 17 games, but losing week 1. So that means they're going to lose only one more time after week 1.
you Detroit on
Because
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That ain't no. No.
MCDC is gonna be eating kneecaps for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, had his 2-10 record at that time.
Oh, you see, that's where you're wrong, sir. All
Hey,
right,
Kirk
moving
Cousins.
on. Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Aaron, go ahead and start us off.
Well, let's see. The Steelers have the former MVP as their starting quarterback, and
Dang right.
the Bengals have some dude named Joe Shiesty. I think that's his name. He was pretty good last year, so I'm gonna have to go with the Bengals on this one, 35-20. The Steelers line is not good. So yeah.
If Kenny Pickett was starting, I would feel differently about the Steelers.
Kenny
I'm
Pickett's
also
overrated.
gonna go Cincinnati. I do think the Steelers will win this division though, and
This
yeah,
guy. This guy.
Now,
the
here's the
Steelers
guy who
defense.
doesn't know what he's talking about.
Do not sleep on the Steelers defense. Okay, they will make a few plays. They will keep Pittsburgh in this game. But
I'm not sleeping on the Steelers defense. It's the
because
offense.
Mitchell Trubisky is back there, he's gonna cost them the game. But I think the Bengals win by 2 possessions.
Oh, good
So I'm going
grief.
Cincinnati.
Now here's
But,
a
but don't
guy.
sleep on the Pittsburgh defense.
I'm sleeping on their offense. I'm taking a fat ass nap on that offense. Like
I'm sleeping on the entire state of Minnesota.
anyways, what's the next?
Yeah, you're not
prediction?
even wearing Minnesota. You're wearing a Raptors shirt. Because you know
Stay in our.
Minnesota can't do anything in sports. You have to go to Canada.
How
I'm
dare you?
sorry. This coming from a Detroit fan?
Quiet you. All right. I have the best.
I will play you on Monday night.
Okay. Okay. Bring it.
Hey, except that one. If you give me a chance,
Ew.
I can take it.
Undefeated on Monday Night Football this decade. I don't want to talk about the other decade.
Kirk Cousins. All right. My prediction is Steelers Bengals. I think the Bengals keep where they left off last year. I think they win this 35-17. I'm not sold on the Steelers. I actually do think, well, hold on. Let me see here. I'm like 90. Yeah, I have the Steelers winning 6 games this year. A whopping 6 games this year. I think their offense is not going to be that great. However, I love Mitchell Trubisky. I love him. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he was he underachieved in Matt Nagy's offense and the Bears offense. The reason I don't think that I think he'll be fine this year. I think it's his receiving core and offensive line that hurt him. Andrew, you're giving me this nasty look. I don't like it.
You think Mitchell Trubisky is good?
Better than
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I
Let me
say
break
that?
it down to you. There was a play against the Detroit Lions, okay?
Now
Third and
here's a
4.
guy who
It
doesn't
is
know what he's
third
talking about.
and 4. Trubisky scrambles, goes past the first down marker, sees a dude 5 yards away from him coming at him, turns to the left, runs back behind the first down marker on his own free will, and runs out of bounds to set up 4th and 2.
I think Matt Nagy drew that play up. He told Mitch to do that.
There are just
Mitch
some
trucked that
things.
man over and said, "Hit the weight room. You're too small."
There are some things that are the coach's fault, and there are some things that is on Mitchell Trubisky that only Mitchell Trubisky can do. And
He
that
had
is
a one.
somehow
Win
choke away
MVP.
every game other than the time he's playing the Detroit Lions.
Stafford's never won an MVP. What the hell?
Yeah, shut up. You're
Kirk
not
Cousins
Nickelodeon.
has never won a Super Bowl.
Congratulations, your former quarterback went to a super team and won a Super Bowl. Oh my God.
Wow,
And
it's
they
almost
made
like
a
Tom Brady did
commercial
the
about it.
exact same thing.
And they made a commercial about it. No, he won. Shut up. He won 6
All right,
rings.
next
in New
game.
England.
Next game.
You be quiet. All right, next game. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Detroit Lions.
Who?
Andrew, let's start with you. So you can yeah.
All right. This game is sold out. Officially sold out this
All
morning.
20 of them?
For an ass whooping?
I am going Philly because I think Philly can compete for a Super Bowl this year with the
Jacob,
offseason
did you hear
additions
that?
they made. However, Detroit's going to play them pretty tough. There ain't no easy wins here. This will not be a blowout. It's going to be a slugfest. But I think Philly ultimately wins.
They're going to be blowing something out the Lions' backs. That's what's going to be happening. Bleep! Okay.
There's gonna be a lot of those.
Aaron, go ahead.
Okay. So without bringing up my toxic Vikings fan or just toxic NFL fan, I think the Eagles will pull ahead early. The Lions, for as bad as they've been last year, they were a different team despite their record. They're not just going to lay over and die. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Dan Campbell, all things considered.
Because he can
So
kick your ass.
I'm trying to be nice here. Can you let me do that?
I'll just wait till we get to Green Bay, Minnesota.
All right, the Eagles blown out the Lions 42-0.
All right, you two. We just kissing.
I bet you they put up more than 0.
Oh yeah, they put up 3-0.
All right, you two. Shut up. Okay. I have the Eagles winning 11 games this year and winning their division. However, they could win 9 games to win their division because the rest of the division is pretty garbage. I think the Eagles.
Dallas, it's their year. Don't forget, it's Dallas's year. Okay, it's Dallas's year.
They've been saying that for 20 years.
The Eagles are going to be very, very good this year. They're going to. I mean, their offense is going to be great. Their defense is going to be better. They are going to be a team to beat in the NFC for a playoff spot. One of their 11 games is not against Detroit week 1. Detroit wins this game 28-24. The Lions show with Amon-Ra St. Brown, DeAndre Swift, Jared Goofball. They will score points. The defense with Aiden Hutchinson with that many sacks is going to win this ball game 28-24 against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I will stand by that.
Hey, Jacob, can you show your tongue? Because I think it might be blue with all that Kool-Aid you've been drinking.
No.
All right,
nah.
the next game.
Next game, probably the game of the week. Cleveland Browns versus the Carolina Panthers. This game, I have the Browns winning 17-14 in an awful game. Both teams making turnovers. It's going to be not a good game.
You said Cleveland?
Cleveland 17, Carolina 14. Anyone else?
Carolina. Baker is going to show up this one game. Okay? He will remind everybody who he is. Okay? And then everyone will forget who he is week 2. Okay? That's how it's going to go. Carolina week 1 because Jacoby Brissett got cut for a reason.
Well, I also have the Panthers winning. I know how Baker is when he has a chip on his shoulder, and that's not a guy you want to go up against. I do hope that he goes out and tears the Browns a new one, because after everything, at least just for this week, I don't want the Browns to even score a touchdown just because of, everything that's happened over the last few months. The whole situation with Baker just pissed me off, and I genuinely hope the Browns do not score a point. I have the Panthers winning 24-0. Probably not going to happen.
You see, I think week 12 and beyond, the Browns are going to score 24 points every single game.
I thought it was 26.
Well, maybe it's 30. Maybe it's 60. I don't know. They're gonna score however many.
Maybe it's a lot of points in 17 weeks.
Huh?
Maybe they'll score 66 points through 17 weeks.
Maybe. Probably at this point. All right. I'm scared to talk about this next game. I'm scared to talk about this next game with the two of you. The Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers.
All right, Aaron, let's hear it from you betcha, we the Vikings up there.
Okay. So
Can't even think of anything, can you?
No. I'm relishing in this moment. I'm relishing in this.
Is this a Monday night game?
No, it's
Please.
not. Okay, so being realistic for a second, I have the Vikings winning by like 5 points, like 35-30. New offensive minded head coach, new coaching staff, completely different culture in that organization. Kirk is going to come out with a fire under his ass. Not saying he's going to carry the Vikings to a win because that's not the kind of quarterback he is. Justin Jefferson's going to go out and he's going to go out there and show out. Adam Thielen's going to be back healthy. Dalvin Cook is going to run all over that defense. And then on the Vikings defense, you got Zadarius Smith. He is going to want to Anthony Barr Aaron Rodgers. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, that was anyways. And it's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a shootout, most likely, but I have the Vikings winning 35-30.
Andrew?
All right. As much as I don't like Aaron Rodgers because of what he has done to my franchise over the past several years, he is one bad man.
He still
And
owns
that
you.
Packers defense is pretty good. They're no slouches. They got Jair healthy again. They have
Rashawn Gary.
Rashawn Gary off the edge. You got Kenny Smith at the middle, or Kenny Clark, my bad. Then you have the other Smith brother out there too. Don't forget there's two of them.
Who?
The other Smith brother. I think the Packers win this one. I think Aaron Rodgers.
Did the Packers run a 3-4?
Who cares what they run? Doesn't matter. Kirk Cousins
Well,
is
because
going to realize, oh man, I have to actually put this team on my back to win this game. And that just, frankly, just doesn't happen. So I'm taking the Packers 42-31 because just like Chicago, Aaron Rodgers owns you.
they do run a 3-4. I thought so. I honestly think they need to change to a I'm trying to say here. They need to change their defense. I think their defense would be better if they had more defensive linemen. But all right. Anyways. All right. So Vikings Packers. I have the Vikings winning 9 games this year.
That's too low.
Get out of here. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs with 9 games. I think that might be the 7th seed. I'm not sure. I don't know how I put them at 9 wins based on who they play. Mainly because I don't know how they're gonna do it. I like to stay at the even number or the middle ground, and if they do better, great. If not, I'm not too far away. So yeah, they're gonna win 9 games. One of them will be actually 2 of them will be against the Green Bay Packers this year because the Minnesota Vikings own Aaron Rodgers. They know how to beat that man. Aaron Rodgers ain't coming to no one.
We own it's one of these collarbones. We own one of the collarbones. I'm not sure which.
Aaron Rodgers ain't throwing no one. Minnesota is going to beat the Green Bay Packers week 1, 34-21. Then at some point, Minnesota.
Okay. Wait just a second. I realized my little outburst over this game, but it's Aaron Rodgers. I hate to even give this guy credit, but we all know.
I'm giving him 21 points.
No, like I said, it's gonna be a close game, and we all know what Aaron Rodgers has been doing while winning 2 MVPs. I don't think I can talk about it on YouTube, but yeah. So.
Well, it don't matter because Minnesota's gonna beat them week 1, but then they're probably gonna lose the Bears in like week 6, so it don't matter.
I wouldn't be surprised.
all
Andrew,
right, moving on.
Hmm?
All
All right, moving on. The Kansas City Chiefs versus the Arizona Cardinals. I have the Chiefs winning this game 21-17. I still have the Chiefs doing really well this year. Only because you can't not expect that from them, no matter losing Tyreek Hill. Honestly, I don't think losing Tyreek Hill is going to do much, except maybe give more targets to some other people. But I think this will be a close game. I think this is a great week 1 matchup. I just not sold on Kyler Murray yet. So I have the Chiefs winning 21-17. Don't get too excited now.
We're not talking about the Vikings. I'm not going to be excited.
Mm-hmm.
So I have the Chiefs winning this. I'd say, honestly, I'm going to say the Chiefs win this 31-17. If there's one thing I have learned since Patrick Mahomes became a starter in this league is that you can't count him out. Now, if he plays like he did in the AFC Championship, or at least the second half, yeah, you can count him out, but I can't count him out. I'm not ready to do that yet, and he has not given me a reason to besides that one time. But I got the Chiefs winning 31-17.
Kyler Murray doesn't have his little blanky of DeAndre Hopkins for the first 6 weeks or whatever, and the Chiefs are going to do what the Lions did to the Cardinals last year and beat the absolute crap out of them. And it's going to be 35-10, Kansas City.
And then Kyler Murray's gonna go home, cry, and play on his Xbox.
And he's going to call up DeAndre Hopkins and say, "Yo, you want to run some Warzone?
Yo, you want to run some duos?"
Good Lord. All right, next game. The Oakland, I'm sorry, the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Los Angeles Chargers. I picked this game, but I don't really see this being necessarily close. I have the Chargers winning this 35-21. Chargers are going to be that team to beat this year. However, I'm still I wouldn't say the team to beat, but I think they'll be good. I'm still not sold on their head coach yet. But I have the Chargers winning 35-21. Andrew?
I'm going Vegas in this one. Yeah. A lot of people are hyping up this Chargers team, and frankly, they are very, very talented across the board. However, Derek Carr is back with his boy, Devontae Adams. The last time they set several Fresno State records. So, that in mind, and the crappy offensive line, I think this is a shootout. I think they're gonna pick up right where they left off in that play in game essentially. And I think the Raiders are going to win in an absolute shootout, 56-49.
Ooh.
I thought I was gonna say an absolute shootout. Raiders win 14-7.
No, there will be little to no defense in this game.
There will be fireworks, ladies and gentlemen. There will be fireworks. Shout out Jason Pierre-Paul. Anyways, so I have the Raiders winning 42-37. Listen, when you have Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, they already have the chemistry from college. They're, I don't, nothing else needs to be said about that. But
you guys do know where this game is at, right?
What?
You guys do know where this game is at, right?
Is it not in Vegas?
SoFi Stadium.
It's in the Rams.
So that's just the Raiders practice facility. So the 23 Chargers fans there aren't going to make any difference.
Dude, I'm sorry, but the Chargers, if they don't do anything this year, they're going to become the Clippers of the NFL.
They're gonna have to move back to San Diego.
I would rather they do that. Anyways, point being, I don't trust Brandon Staley. I honestly don't trust Josh McDaniels either. But I think talent is going to outweigh coaching in this one, and the Raiders are going to pull away.
All right, next game.
You think the Raiders are more talented than the Chargers?
I think we
I
should
don't
move
trust the
on to the
Chargers.
next game.
I think you should retract to his statement saying that the Raiders are more talented than the Chargers.
All right, Tampa Bay versus Dallas. Bunsen, we know who you're
Oh,
Bustin, put your
Sam
boner away.
Buccaneer bleep. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
I'll go last. Aaron, you go first.
Well, I don't like either one of these teams. Honestly, I'd rather they just tie 0-0, but that wouldn't make, that wouldn't be very fun. So unfortunately, I gotta go Bucks 34, Cowboys 17. Cowboys are gonna be without Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, for as good as everyone thinks he is. He needs to show it.
Is Gallup really out?
I think Gallup's out.
Yeah, he's gonna be out for at least this game. But unless Tom Brady just gets sacked and breaks his hip, I don't see the Bucs losing this one.
He's not 80.
Dude's like
Jeez.
one plastic surgery away from looking like a Team America character. I'm serious. Look it up, viewers. Look it up.
I'm going to go against every rational being in my body, and I'm picking Dallas.
The boys ain't back.
The game is in Dallas.
I don't give a flying fart where the game
Dallas
is.
fans
good.
are nuts. And
That's delusional.
as bad as I don't think the Cowboys offense this year is running through Ezekiel Elliott because frankly he doesn't run very fast. So, and he doesn't go very far. And I think they bring something new. Lamb is pretty good, and Dalton Schultz is pretty solid as well. But I think it's Dallas's defense that keeps them in this game. I think Parsons is much, much better than he was last year when they played. Trayvon Diggs is going to get burnt for like 450 yards maybe, but he'll come up with like 3 interceptions as well.
Then everyone will start calling him the best corner in the league.
So I think Dallas is going to pull out a tight one, like 28-27. It's going to go down to the wire, but I think Dallas is going to somehow win this game.
Okay. Yeah. I respect the pick. I respect it.
I respect nothing of your pick.
Well, you also have
you can take that. You were Tom Brady's kid, so you could kiss him every day.
You're dang right. My boy Tom Brady doesn't have 1. He doesn't have 2. He has 3, 4, 5,
Adam Vinatieri.
7.
Falcons.
7 Super Bowl.
Rams sucking in that Super Bowl.
Dude, this is his farewell tour.
Yeah, when the Bucks are 4-11 and have nowhere else to go.
False. They have Julio Jones.
Who?
I think he's out with a hamstring injury after the first 3 plays.
Wait. What's this? Breaking news. Tom Brady's a system quarterback.
Well, that's not true. On a Super Bowl in another system, so.
Oh, he went to a loaded super team. They just needed a quarterback.
That's not true either.
Tell me how it
isn't. Because it wasn't. Bucks were so
Mike
bad.
Evans, Chris Godwin. They went 7-9 without him the year before, with Jameis Winston throwing 30 interceptions.
The greatest season of all time.
They had everybody other than Antoine Winfield Jr. on that squad.
And Antonio Brown. Don't forget about him.
And Antonio Brown does not matter in any situation in football anymore. Bucks win this game 42-24. He is on his farewell tour, whether he thinks it or not. Dude's gonna win his 8th Super Bowl. Tom Brady is back. In my picks, I didn't even notice it till the very end when I put it in a spreadsheet that I had them winning 17 games because that's how good they are. However, I went back and changed it, and I only have winning 13 games because it's just unrealistic to win 17 games. It's unrealistic to win 16 games, to be honest. You're gonna lose games here and there, and honestly, I think I had him losing to the Saints twice because he can't beat the Saints no matter who's
Tom Brady
playing. So,
fighting with Giselle. Apparently their marriage is falling apart. Giselle's threatened to move to Costa Rica. And Tom
that's not
Brady's trying to be
true.
a dad and be a football player at the same time, which he clearly couldn't do for 40 days. So he came back to
That's not
football, and
true.
Dallas is going to remind him to go back to being retired.
That's not true.
DeMarcus Lawrence is going to own Tom Brady.
No, you're
That
just
offensive
wrong.
line might be worse than Dallas's, other than Tristan Wirfs. Everybody is injured on that offensive
Yeah,
line.
Tristan Wirfs is a stud. I won't lie.
Bucks.
Parsons and
Tom
Lawrence are
Brady.
just gonna meet and have a Tom Brady sandwich.
Oh, I love that sandwich.
Yeah, I think a lot of Dallas fans would too.
No, here's what
Oh.
here's what Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence are gonna be doing.
Skull?
Safety.
If you know, you
Safety.
know.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you, viewers, for looking at our third installment. Please check back next week to see how we do with our first picks. We
And never
appreciate
forget,
you listening
Tom
to
Brady is
TC
a system
Sports.
quarterback.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
Tom Brady is a system quarterback.
I'm
Good.
Jake. No, no. I'm Jacob Butzine.
Tom Brady is a system quarterback.
That's
I'm
Andrew
Aaron Rodgers,
Schultz.
a pussy ass bitch.
And that's Aaron Clinker. Thank you for watching TC Sports. We'll see you next week.